Welcome to Profiles in Risk, and this is your host, Tony Cañas. Today we are recording episode, 223, something like that. And I have a giant panel today, so I recommend that, if at all possible, watch this one on the YouTube version that includes video, not the audio version. But first of all, I have my very good friend, Lamont Boyd, who made the introduction to make today's episode possible. So Lamont, I'll let you start us up.
Okay, thanks, Tony. I really appreciate it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people. So I hope that a lot of viewers happen to click in on this multiple times. I am, as many of you know, I'm the student engagement chair for the Arizona CPCU chapter. And as part of that activity, at least until the end of the year, as part of all that activity, many of the activities I get involved in have to do with local schools, whether they're colleges, universities, other programs in the Arizona area. And I'm very proud to say that we've done some great work with Rio Salado College. I'm about to introduce Dr. Davidoff, who is the director of the Insurance and Risk Management Program at Rio Salado College, and she's going to share lots of information about exactly what they do in the RMI program at Rio Salado. Dr. Davidoff?
Thank you so much, Lamont. Thank you, Tony, for having us. We appreciate your time. I am Dr. Lily Davidoff. As Lamont said, I'm a faculty chair for Risk Management and Insurance Studies program at Rio Salado College. Today, I have with me Chris Beheimer, the man who made this program possible. He is our lead faculty for Risk Management program. And then I also have the most exciting and best students. I have Bert, and then I also have Nellie. So welcome, everyone, and thank you for having us.
Excellent, excellent. So I don't know what order we're gonna go in. As many of you know, I'm not the agenda type really. Lamont had mentioned you guys a few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and somehow it slipped my mind. I never did connect the dots of how cool what you're doing over there in Rio Salado is. And since then, I've been kind of throwing out ideas on what we should do when it comes to insurance education. I'm a big fan of the RMI programs, but there's not enough of them, right? They're expensive, kind of thing. And then finally, I realized that you guys exist. So Dr. Davidoff, maybe you can introduce us to how Rio Salado's program is different from the other 70 RMI programs out there.
Well, thank you so much, Tony. And I think the best person who can speak about it will be Chris Beheimer. Chris, you want to talk a little bit about the history, when it started, and then how it came about, and then what we offer, and go ahead.
Okay, well, thank you. And again, I want to thank Lamont and Dr. Davidoff for looping me in. It's kind of an interesting story. Rio was formed in, I think, 1978. And at that particular point in time, it was an anomaly in the Maricopa Community College district. All of the other schools had, as did every other school, the brick and mortar, the buildings, and so on and so forth. And Rio was formed to kind of, I guess, broaden the borders, go outside the normal everyday thinking. And at the time I was working for a company out in Northeast Scottsdale, had about 800 or 900 people. And some Rio Salado folks came out to the company, the insurance company, and said, can we offer some insurance courses for your staff, basically, and anybody else who wanted to come in. So probably in 1979, that's when it got 79, 1980, that's when it got started. And we offered the AINS series, or the associate, at that time it was just INS. It's changed probably 15 years ago to AINS, changing it from a certification to a designation program. So we taught all 3 parts of the AINS curriculum, 21, 22, and 23. And we mostly attracted people from the insurance industry. And it was, a class would meet 1 night a week. And so we would do 21 one semester, 22 the other, and so on and so forth. And it just kind of gradually grew from there. And in 2014, a summit was convened here in the Phoenix area. And there were representatives from the Independent Insurance Agents Association, Lamont in the CPCU chapter, Arizona State University, and a number of companies, insurance companies. And Arizona, or at least the Phoenix area, has a number of specialty surplus lines companies: Scottsdale Insurance, Colony, Markel, James River, Integrity, a number of other organizations. And they all sent people down to the summit and said, hey, we gotta start filling some of the talent gaps. So that's where it's grown. When we originally started offering classes, of course, they were all in person, and they've transitioned now to online and hybrid. So that just gives you a kind of a span of over 40 years of how it got started and how it's grown.
Well, I want to pick up where Chris left. So the last 3 years, I have been a faculty chair for the program. A lot of things happened in the last 3 years, but a lot of things happened since when they developed the program too. The prior chair have done a lot of good work, and then we're thankful for that. So Rio Salado is actually all online. We not all online, but our program is completely online. We do have cohorts at State Farm where the state and farm employees are going downstairs and they're taking classes, and our adjunct faculty are teaching those classes. Another thing that unique about Rio, we call ourselves we're college without walls, even though we have on-ground courses, but we'll also have classes that are online. And this is where our insurance program is so unique. We have 48 start dates. So Tony, you decide to take insurance class with Rio Salado, we can start you next Monday, which is great. We also have an option. You can switch the class from, the classes are 14 weeks, but you can switch to 8 week if you want to. And then I think Bert took advantage of that, right, Bert? And then all the faculty that we have currently working in the industry, they're handpicked, and Chris is a lead faculty, so Chris works very close with them. And I think now is a good time for students to talk a little bit about their experience as a student at Rio Salado with the faculty. Is that okay, Tony, or do you have something? Okay. So I think first Nelly could go. Nelly, can you talk a little bit about your experience with Rio? And then this is not the time to be shy. Please brag about your professor or about how well you did. So go ahead.
Hi, I'm Nelly. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm a mom of 4 kids. And I work as a teacher assistant in school. And I was talking to my friend. I wanted to find something like better job, like with better salary, like I needed increase in my salary. And she told me that she knows Dr. Davidov, Lily, and that she has a great program that it's insurance management. And I got interested, and I contacted Mrs. Davidov, Dr. Davidov, and since that, and I liked it. And the most important thing, what helped me, that they have a scholarship, and Dr. Davidov helped me with that. And that's the only way, like, I can go to that program because of the scholarship, because I couldn't afford to pay. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that, because that's the only way I am into that program. And I'm so blessed and thankful for that. And so in the beginning, it was so hard that I thought that I'm gonna quit because already like 20 years, I think I wasn't in college, and I was raising my 4 kids. And but with Dr. Davidov help, and Ruth also, she was helping me how get it together, how to make it better. She was telling me that I can do it. And I started, and in the beginning it was very hard, but the professor, Richard Padliner, he helped me a lot with his feedback. And every time, like I submitted my assignments, he would give me feedback how to make it better, and it really helped me. So every time I become better and better, and I felt so good, and my kids were so proud. Like I couldn't believe it that I can do it with all your help. Thank you so much. Like I'm blessed that I'm in that program, and I know like when I'll finish that, I think I'll find a very good job that I'll be great at it with all your help. Thank you so much.
It is amazing. Thank you, Nelly. It's amazing how small of an industry this is and how connected we become with the CPC Society. So Rich is a very good friend of mine. I met him through the CPC Society. He used to run the New Designee Committee, which I've been a member of for a long time. Does he teach with the bow tie? Or does he only wear the bow tie for special events?
Well, Nelly's online. He has an online class, but when he teaches in person, I think he does, right?
He does. Yeah, he does.
He's a really, really great guy. Sorry for interrupting, but that's a really wonderful story. And Nelly, are you looking to go into the agency side or into the carrier side, or like have you kind of decided which area of insurance you want to go into after the program?
I think I decided to be with the like a claim to work with claims, like something like that, but not. I'm still deciding, but that's what I want to work. Yeah, I want to find like in a big company, like in the insurance company, to work as with the claims in the insurance company.
Good.
So.
We desperately need claims talent.
Nelly was always telling me, she's like, if it's sales, I can't do it. I can't sell.
Yes.
I can't, but I can sure take. She's like, I'm very detailed. I can take I'm like, okay, so claims it is. So for now, she's thinking, but she is starting INS 200. So she just finished INS 100. So she's gonna start getting for that AINS. Was it 23, 21, Chris? So.
21, 22, and 23. And I should mention one thing. We teach the Institute's curriculum, but we also created kind of a prerequisite to that, which talks about interviewing skills and office etiquette. And we also built the ethics component in there as well. So right now we're teaching Ethics 312. Or the ethical guidelines for CPCUs.
That is fantastic. I have a 4-year bachelor's in business and an MBA, and the interview piece was never addressed in the program. I was lucky. My fraternity during college did teach me some of those skills, but that is very good that you've got those practical career skills that are so sorely missing in a lot of traditional higher education. That is really, really fantastic.
Yeah, and Tony, actually, Chris developed that course, the first course, and that's, Nelly was saying that she's got a scholarship, but we don't have a book. It's a bookless course. So Chris developed it to where students are actually get exposed to, and as you see, Nelly is a teacher, right? So she understands professional communication, but they're actually in that course get exposed to insurance industry professional communication. They learn about self-efficacy. They learn about interview skills. And then the last 3 chapters are also have curriculum from the Institute, right, Chris? Yeah, so that's what the 100 is about. And then once they get that really good exposure, then they get to 200. And then when they start actually reviewing the Institute material and get ready for that part of the AINS exam, and those 3 classes actually teaches the 3 portion of the AINS. So next thing I want to talk to Bert. Bert is a little bit further than Nelly. He's actually taking almost done with 205 and 210. He was very brave. He started taking 2 courses at the same time, and he's doing really good. So Bert, you want to tell us about your career and your journey at Rio a little bit?
Well, Rio Salado has actually been a blessing, and being able to actually go to online education has been a really positive experience for me. Um, the class that I started with, which was Insurance 100, really exposed me to the possibilities in this field. And the staff, I just could go on and on, but very supportive. And that is very key for anybody, any student actually, who might have doubts and not surviving in this type of environment. And I give a shout out and an applaud the staff at Rio Salado. They've been very helpful and very supportive, especially when you go through personal issues that might stop you from wanting to even continue your studies. But long story short, I'm gonna compare risk management and insurance studies to a slogan in the Navy. It's not only a job, it's an adventure. And I think that's where I'm barely going to start going. It's going to be an adventure, and I have no idea where I'm going to stop, but whatever it is, I know I will always keep my hands full and my mind thinking.
Yeah, and then see, Tony, here's the difference. Nelly was taking an online class with INS 100, where Bert was actually joining us for our summer camp that Chris was teaching. And so every summer we have summer camp, and this year we actually had a virtual summer camp. And we invite every Monday, we invite speaker from the industry. And then Bert, you want to talk a little bit more what you learned in your summer camp? I think there was 4 different speakers that we had. You want to kind of touch on that?
The summer camp, there were different speakers. Chris, excellent job. Just a motivator, inspire. And my experience, I was just attentive at all times. All the speakers exposed me to certain fields that I had no idea of, even though I actually partook in some of the insurance needs that are certain individuals need, auto insurance, health insurance. It was just a little bit of everything with respect to the insurance field. It was great, a great introduction.
I really love what you said earlier of the adventure within insurance, and I have found that to be 100% true. I have met people who do all sorts of crazy jobs. I've met people who underwrite insurance for aviation, so for private planes. I've at a CPCU event a few years ago, I met a gentleman who is a workers' compensation adjuster for the NFL. So basically, he has 6 NFL teams that he works with, and so he's like watching 3 TVs on Sunday and Monday, and then working with the team doctors the next day to get the players back on the field as soon as possible. Like there are some just fascinating jobs within our industry. You truly will never get bored. And historically, where we struggle is we struggle kind of in getting people interested and helping them find their first foot in the door, and then like their first step past the entry level. Especially in the time that I've been around, the last 10 years. If you fall into insurance by accident, finding your second level job is kind of hard if you don't have good guidance. And if I remember correctly, you guys have multiple programs, right? You have the AINS program, you've got the summer program, and there is a 2-year associate type of program.
Go ahead, Lily.
Oh, I was waiting for you to jump in. So, okay, so we have risk management and insurance. We have certificate in risk management and insurance, which is 18 credits. First 12 credits is that INS 100 is the course we talked about that expose you to the insurance industry, kind of interview, self-efficacy, and then that's where they take ethics 312 exam. And then they go into INS 200, 205, and 210, and those 3 courses prepare them for AINS exam. And then they get to have their restrictive electives, right? You can either take, like a lot of times, it depends where the people are going. For example, if Nelly going into claims, she's probably will be choosing customer service class and maybe a finance class or marketing class. But if somebody is going into claims, for example, we have apprenticeship with Harvard, and Harvard requested to have 2 courses from the claims. Chris, what's that exam? I'm drawing blank.
It's the intro to or the introduction to claims AIC 30.
Yeah.
The claims handling principles and practices, and then also because there's so many different insurance companies out here that have claim centers. We also teach the auto claims.
So they can choose those.
AIC 39. Yeah.
Yeah, if they want to concentrate in claims, they can choose those. We're also in the process of developing risk management courses for ARM exam, Associate in Risk Management. So we just developed the first part, and then next year the goal is to develop the last 2. So this way, so you take your core classes and then you take those classes if you want to concentrate, and you can earn your CCL. Now, if you want to go for your AA degree in AA degree in risk management and insurance, then we also have a 2-year program. So then you have to take the general electives and everything else with that. And I think, Bert, is that what you're going for? Are you going for your AA degree?
Yes, actually, yes. I want to definitely.
And Bert, are you thinking underwriting? Are you thinking claims? Are you thinking agency?
I'm leaving it open right now, but life financial planning, life insurance, it's taking me in that direction because of certain circumstances that I've been going through, that I've been observing, and I consider it something very important at this point in my life. Yeah, so yeah, we'll still see. We'll still keep it open.
Excellent, excellent. And I believe the 2 students we have today are both from Arizona. Actually, I didn't ask. But so Rio Salado is based in the Phoenix area, but you do serve students from all over. So,
very good question, Tony. Excellent question. So we do have students that are local in Arizona, but we also have what it calls national, Rio National. So we have a team of advisors that are actually assisting our students who are outside of Arizona in other states. We do have a special tuition for those students. Those students are also qualified for the scholarship that the in-state students are qualified. So yeah, we serve students all over the United States.
now, what percentage of the students are on full scholarships or almost full scholarships?
So it's very interesting question, and it's actually a good question. Not too many of our students taking advantage of the scholarship. So as much as we're trying to advertise it, and I think you and I chatted a little bit last week, my personal goal is that I've never done it right. Nobody told me that I can, get scholarships. So I borrowed. So my student loan is just a little bit smaller than my mortgage. So I have to work a lot and be very careful. So there's a lot of things I cannot do. So this is my personal mission for my students and my children that I'm trying to correct, is that do not borrow. And this is what the path I was telling my students, and this is what hopefully Nelly will take that path, is that she's going to take advantage of the scholarship which we have a bilingual scholarship from State Farm. And then Bert is the same way. And then they're going to gain that certificate in risk management and insurance, and they're going to get a job as a claims, and they're going to start working for a company, Allstate, State Farm, whatever the company it is. And then each company, and this is what wonderful about insurance industry, you're not only getting a fair salary, but you also get a fair benefits. And with those benefits, tuition reimbursement comes in, right? Now you can stay at Rio, get your associate degree, and then here's the path to go to universities. Now Grand Canyon University is now developing bachelor's in risk management. So here you go, you finish 2 years at Rio, and then you transfer to Grand Canyon and you finish your last 2 years, and then you get your bachelor's in risk management. And as you said, the industry had so many potentials. You don't have to work in claims anymore. If you like accounting, you can go to accounting. If you like risk management alone, you can go there. I think there's no there's no place that you cannot go in the insurance industry, and you can talk more about that.
100%. At least you got the word doctor with your student loans.
Very expensive.
I'll be paying them for just as long, and mostly for my MBA. It's totally paid off, but I do wish that I had ran into the right advice earlier and discovered my love for insurance earlier, and even more, discovered the possibility of doing it through scholarships, and that's really awesome that you guys have figured out how to get the industry to contribute enough for the scholarships. And you're absolutely right. Get into a carrier. It doesn't matter what job in the carrier. Like get into the mail or the call center or whatever at a carrier and take advantage of that tuition reimbursement. And so you've created a pathway from zero to bachelor's without any student loans. That is fantastic. And in an industry that will always have demand for the skill set.
Exactly. And it's actually, I've been pulling out a lot of industry reports on the risk management and insurance industry. And with pandemic and everything else, there is more need for it. So there's more need to mitigate that risk. And I think, Lamont, I'm sorry, Lamont, I'm talking about your industry. So maybe you can talk more about that, because, Lamont and Chris taught me everything about the industry. But the path itself is absolutely, amazing that you can we also have apprenticeship with Hartford. So students could actually go through apprenticeship, and they work and they actually earn money while they're in the program. And then after that, they get hired by Hartford. We also, what Rio Salado is always we have partnerships with Allstate, Progressive, and other companies where we are going in and we're reviewing their training program. And then we're looking at their training program and we're saying, okay, some of this training programs align with our courses. And we actually, students, while they're completing their training courses, they earn some of the college credits with us. So that's also a pathway. You earn those credits. And then a pathway is that you take, they also qualified for scholarships. So there's a lot of avenues that students can come to us.
So let me see if I can just add just a little bit of color to this, since Lily mentioned my name. Tony, you know that the CPCU Society for the last 12 years has had a student program where we've concentrated our focus on bringing RMI students, actuarial studies students, to our annual meetings, because we wanted to be able to bring students who were excited about the industry to meet with the people who may employ them at some point in the future. We've had over 200 students over that long period of time, and virtually every single one of them has since graduated and moved into the insurance industry. It's so wonderful to have the excitement that Lily brings to all of this educational process, because you can see what that excitement does for those students, for the other teachers, the other instructors at Rio Salado. I think it's fantastic. The other thing I wanted to mention is that when we started the advisory council at Rio Salado for the RMI program, I believe it was 2014, 2015, something like that, Chris, I think you said. Yep. We had a good number. There were probably 25 to 30 people from the industry who were at every single one of those meetings, because we wanted to help them start out in exactly the way that they should start out. Now, Lily has brought a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, and a lot of the people on her staff have done exactly the same thing. But one thing that we tried to do as part of the Arizona chapter is to create a specific scholarship program for the Rio Salado College. And many of your listeners may know the name Rick Jones. When Rick Jones was with the Arizona chapter, he was the president of the Arizona chapter, and he has since passed away. He was an executive with Copper Point Insurance, and we now offer the Rick Jones Memorial CPCU Scholarship on behalf of Rio Salado College. And we're very, very pleased to be able to do that.
Thank you, Lamont. I'm wondering, Chris or Lily, Are there any like particular success stories of prior students that could really illustrate what somebody's path through the college and future might look like?
Well, I have one actually that just happened. A young lady was taking was with State Farm and was taking most of her experience had been in personal lines, and she was taking AINS 23, or what we refer to as INS 210, the commercial insurance course. And she sent me an email, and she works in claims at State Farm. And she said, I just took my AINS 23 national exam. I passed it. I was so happy. I was sobbing and crying out loud. And my boyfriend's parents called, and I'm trying to talk to him on the phone while I'm crying. And I just, that kind of makes you feel good. And she wants to move into a supervisory role. And this is going to help her. This really is. And we have, I've seen students come through my classes over the years in sales, claims, underwriting, premium audit, accounting. I've had some actuarial people in taking some of these classes. So it really is, as Bert pointed out, it is an adventure. And we have a lot of people that have come through the college over the years. And as you pointed out, or as Lamont pointed out, a lot of the students are in the industry and they're doing quite well. I run into them every now and then.
I'm a big believer that there's this perception in the industry that we're not good at bringing people in. I think we're okay at bringing people in. We're not good at growing them from that first level. Once, right, if you can get that call center person to a supervisor or to an underwriter desk or to one of the more rewarding, like not on the phone or at least not call center type roles, from there, they'll grow. Growing from there is a lot easier. Growing from that very first level is very hard. So yeah, the more that you can provide the tools for those people to survive the testing on the first couple of designations, the more that will keep them and that they'll grow within our industry. So it's really wonderful work.
Yeah, and for that, Tony, Chris and I have been working the last 6 months. We've been working on creating the courses for the internships. So this way students can go into internship. I'm not sure if it's going to be paid or unpaid, probably unpaid internship. And also there is a course that prepares them for internship, gives them some a little bit more reinforcement on professional behavior, more on their resume, more on the code of conduct and in other places. And then this is something that we're putting into place, and Chris will be teaching those courses starting soon. We also have a lot of people reaching out and saying that they want to hire our graduates. So with those internships, it will be better for us to transport that student body into an actual workforce. So, and Chris has been very helpful. And like I said, Lamont has been a blessing. So they've been teaching me for everything. And another thing that I've really enjoyed when I started, my degree is in entrepreneurship and accounting. So I know a little bit of the risk management and I understand the value of risk management, but everything that I've learned in the 3 years in this industry and how amazing everybody is. And even though you guys compete against each other, State Farm, all state and all that, but you are all in the same boat on this. You all wanted to improve that workforce. You all wanted to have the best qualified workforce possible, and how supportive you are for our programs. For summer camp, we never had an issue to bring a guest speaker, everybody willing to volunteer their time. So we really appreciate that. On behalf of my students and my staff, I want to say thank you so much to the industry, how wonderful and how welcoming you are. So we appreciate that.
Perfect. So for the listeners, the calls to action basically. So if you are thinking of insurance and having trouble getting in because you don't have any insurance in your background, take a look at Rio Salado. And how does the process start? Is it call your office, schedule some time to chat with you to figure out the path in?
Yeah, I think the best thing is to email me. It's Lily, Lily, Davidov, Davidov at riosalado.edu. And then I'll point you out in the right direction. We do, as Nellie mentioned, my assistant, my lead faculty for the whole department is Ruth Embleton. She's very helpful. And don't be afraid, don't be afraid of, I haven't been in school for 20 years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's only going to take 3 weeks with Nellie, as Nellie said. In 3 weeks, I called her. She's like, you need to stop calling me. I'm fine. But, so she was okay already. And I said, that's awesome. She goes, do you think it's because you and I talked? I said, no, that's not how it worked. You're earned. I have nothing to do with it. So it was all you. And actually, the last 5 weeks, we didn't even talk. So she learned how to submit an assignments, how to cite her sources. And it's just amazing how much people can do and how much confidence. A lot of people don't have confidence in themselves. And that's what I tell Bird and Nellie, you guys are amazing people. You can do it. You can do it. And look at that. They're moving and progressing. And don't be afraid. Just email me, and then we'll set you up for a class. We'll help you. We'll teach you how to log in and how to submit your assignments. And even now I'm working with Lamant's help and his scholarship. Now I'm working on the student navigators, where I'm going to take my students from my 5-day to Kappa Club. I'm going to put them in the insurance studies courses to help students like Nellie and Bird just to be there, because sometimes the instructor is not there all the time. And they're there, and sometimes students just want to talk to a student. So it's also going to help students to navigate through classes. So don't be afraid.
Well, one of the beauties of insurance is it's not rocket science. It can get really deep. The deeper, if you want to Bill Wilson on a policy and really go deep, you can. But the majority of work in insurance is not rocket science. It's not that complicated. We can teach it to you, absolutely. No question about that. We can teach you the skill set to succeed in the insurance industry. And for the listeners, so if you are a claims leader, a customer service leader, a department leader in an insurance company, you're having trouble attracting entry-level talent, give Lily a call. They are looking for those pathways, for those direct pathways into placing their students. So I love the work that you guys are doing. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast. And I love the approach of we've got industry scholarship money. Let's get you started. We'll help you prepare for it. We'll help you apply for the scholarships. We'll get you into a carrier so that at that point you'll be able to take advantage of the tuition reimbursement. And also the apprenticeship programs. Those are, I wish we had a ton more of those. I thought only Swiss Re had one. It's really good to hear that the Hartford also has one. That's a whole different population that we can bring into the industry, and a population that's going to stay in the industry, because they're becoming more, just like getting your CPCU, you become more valuable here than in any other industry. So thank you everybody for your time. Chris or Lily or Nelly or Bert or Lamont, if anybody has any final words, please do go ahead.
No, I just want to thank you for hosting this and getting the word out. I know that we work, and I've known Lamont for a number of years, and through the CPCU chapter and both local and national, Gamma Iota Sigma, you intoned the name of Bill Wilson, and he's an absolute character. He really is. And there are tons and tons of resources. And Lily mentioned it earlier, that everybody is willing to help understand the value of bringing new talent into our business. And boy, all you got to do is pick up the phone and you'll be surprised.
That is one thing that I have found to be very, very true. And I always encourage people to use the CPCU Society as an alumni network. But even if you're not yet a CPCU, add the person on LinkedIn that's doing the job that you want to be doing, and just introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Nelly, currently doing my INS, looking at doing my CPCU next, would love to pick your brain about your company, your department, your whatever. 95% of them will say yes. People stay in insurance because they like helping people.
Yeah. And one other thing too, we just recently had our annual all industry day. It was virtual this year. And I believe we had a couple of our students participate in that. It was open to everybody. And so it's a great resource. Great resource.
Excellent. Excellent. So thank you everybody for joining today. And thank you Lamont for the introduction. Always been a wonderful resource.
Thank you very much, Tony.